So what are the three-step process, the topmost three-step process to do due diligence as a realtor?
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so very important question, especially because we all want to avoid Kuje. We know Kuje, right? We all know Kuje now, right? It's a prison in Abuja, right? So to avoid Kuje prison, we have to understand this part of real estate. But the truth about it is, there can be a three-step approach to knowing or getting to know a genuine property. That is the truth. However, I'll just try to simplify it. But even before I go there, I need to emphasize that one of the ways, or for me, the shortest approach I can give to any realtor is to belong to a group like this. Because the umbrella body behind a group like this, Jeff, is investing in due diligence. Right? We even have one that is ongoing at this point. So because he is investing in due diligence through the umbrella body of the Winning Realtors Group, it largely saves you money, because trust me, to be frank with you, if you really, really want to do due diligence, it is expensive. It is not every property that somebody just calls you, hey Raymond, I have a property for sale, and then you're like, okay sir, hold on, and then you jump into doing due diligence. At that point, you're just going to be spending all of your money, and because of the system that we operate in Nigeria, where Mr. A can call Raymond that he has a property for sale, and then calls at the same time 20 people, right? That he has the property for sale. If it's outside of Nigeria, it is easier because for most of the times you have exclusive rights over the sale of that property. In other words, no matter how it goes, it falls back to you. But this time around, he has caught 20 people, and you, that is Oga of due diligence, you have started doing due diligence, whereas the remaining 19 people are already pushing marketing. Before you are done with due diligence, somebody has sold it. The money you are putting in due diligence is gone. Right? So why I'm laying this foundation is just to make you understand that first, due diligence really, really is expensive, and the process is long. So to be on the safe side, just try and be among something like this. But let me just still answer a bit of it. So the first major approach to due diligence is getting to pay attention to the reputation and the personality of the person who is selling. I'll give a practical example. I did a due diligence for first for 20 hectares, now it's 10 hectares. The first 20 hectares, nothing came out of it. The second 10 hectares, there's a green light on it. The document is genuine. But in my due diligence report, I wrote that this document, this paper is genuine. However, first, we have to be able to connect this document to the person who gave it to you. Are we together? Because it is possible for the document to be genuine, but the person who is in possession of the document is not the genuine person that has capacity and ability to transfer interest in that property. The second thing I wrote was that we can also not confirm that this document is exactly the document that covers that place that they pointed to you. Are we together? And then the last thing I said, okay, that one will not concern us because it's Abuja. Now, the reason I mentioned those two things, because they are very critical, is because you can have a document, and the person who, I already said that, because somebody is in possession of a particular title document doesn't make him, or doesn't translate to capacity to transfer interest, ownership in that particular party. So the summary is, confirm the genuineness of the person who is selling and his capacity to sell that property. Transfer interest in that property. Again, the fact that it's the original copy doesn't mean he can sell. The second thing is confirm that that document is in connection to that particular property. Right? And if I'm going to have to add the last let's leave it like a long conversation, right? So if you can join us tomorrow, it will be a great time to really talk. I'm looking at top major mistakes, legal mistakes to avoid as a realtor. I like 21, I have to compress it into 5 in a way that makes sense to everybody that will be around. Alright?
Thank you. Before we take the next round of questions, do we have questions coming from the audience?
In love with the real estate itself, right? And it feels like law is science you get. But let me attend to the one that concerns me, which of the types.
Okay, so the truth is, there are 3 major foundations to establishing title documents. There is the customary, there is the equitable, and then there's the legal. One thing you must understand is the fact that the moment this document is genuine and the owner is genuine, first, you are good to go. The second thing is, if you want to go the extra mile, then all you have to do is to perfect the title. And in perfecting the title, we're simply talking about getting a CFO, right? The moment you can get a CFO, then you are 100% good to go. But if we're looking at categorizing these documents as to establishing whether which one is, at that point, it necessarily cannot. In fact, if I'm going to, based on hierarchy, give scale of preference to documents, it's very hard to do, right? But just to say that we could start from, right? We could start from beginnings, right? Go to allocated CFO, not applied CFO. Applied CFO is not about the applied. When you apply for CFO, it can be revoked. Not because government revoked it, but because the wrong person applied for it. Because the wrong person can get the CFO. Right? So we have to understand that everything is a level. The title documents are a level. That's why I said that the foundation is to understand or know, establish that it is genuine. And the person selling to you is genuine. Because the wrong person can rush to the government, get the CFO. By the time 10 years, 20 years, they can revoke that CFO by virtue of a court judgment. Right? So the documents are important. In terms of hierarchy, we may not be able to get the best, but just make sure that you have genuine property. And if you have genuine property, you can cover it on top it with perfecting the title. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so his question is how to secure an inherited property. Alright, so the first thing, I like to always look into the back end of things, because that's where the real thing is. So the first question is, did you properly inherit? Because if you did not properly inherit that property, the original owner will come. Right? So the first question is, assuming it's your father who handed over to you by way of inheritance, did your father inherit the property? But back in the days, our customary laws really help. But you don't want to go to anybody and say, hello? Hello? Okay, so back, as of today, you don't have to go to anybody and say, I'm a bad getter. Where is the proof saying that you're a bad getter? You have to be able to establish that. So, for example, dad is gone or parents are gone and you are the owner now. What you have to do is gather the elders in the family, right? People who can be considered as the principal members of the family and importantly the head of the family. When that has been done, then they can say prepare a document that we can refer to as a deed of partition or a deed of confirmation, confirming that this man is dead. Before he died, his father handed over the property to him, or as the first son, he has performed the right also, right? And he is now the bona fide owner of the property by way of inheritance. Now that his father has died and he has inherited, him now being the son, first son, or whoever, we, the head elders of this family, are confirming that this our son is now the owner of this property. The moment they do that, go and give testimony and thanksgiving in church. After you are done from church, on Monday morning, go and apply for sale, and you are good to go.
Okay, I'll take my last round of questions. Barrister Raymond, he said, after your Thanksgiving and testimony on Sunday, Monday morning, go and apply for sale.